Hello, everybody. Welcome back to KDP A to Z. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about advertising and how to market your books on Amazon KDP. Now, you might have heard a lot about ACOS and how do I get my ACOS down? That's a big question that a lot of people are asking. And quite frankly, it's not that important. What you need to understand is what the ACOS needs to be in order to make a profit for your particular book. Today, I'm going to be showing you a simple formula that you can use that will enable you to work out whether your book is making profit or not. I'll show you exactly what to do and why you need to do it. Now, it is a little bit of maths for you, but it is simple and I'm going to explain it all very easily for you. So what does ACOS actually mean? Well, it stands for advertising cost of sales. So basically, how much you have spent compared to the sales that you have made. So here you'll see you've got your spend of £1,500 and you've made sales of £4,000. Now, Amazon has worked out your ACOS as being 38.71%. But how have they worked that out? So what they've done is they've taken this figure, the spend, and they've divided that by the sales. And then they've multiplied that by 100. And that gives you your ACOS of 38.771. They've rounded that up. Okay, so that's the first thing to understand is how they've worked the ACOS out. And you might be thinking, that is great. I have roughly made £2,500 with this particular product. That's wonderful. Wrong. Sorry to say, you haven't. This sales figure here, it's not your royalties. It's not the amount of money that you're making. Is the total sales of the entire product. It's the gross figure. So out of those sales, you might have only made £1,000 in royalties or even 500, in which case you've lost money. So it's really important that you know what level your ACOS needs to be in order to make you money. Now, the idea is to get your ACOS as low as possible, but unfortunately, it's not one size fits all. Here we've got two people. We've got Dave. He's got a really low ACOS with just 12%, but he's not making any money. Whereas Annabelle has an ACOS of 30% and she is making money. How is that possible? Well, let's look at Dave in particular. So Dave is selling a book for £4, but he's only making 10 pence profit per book. That means for every 10 books that he sells, he makes £1 in profit. His ACOS of 12% means that for every £12 that he spends, he makes £100 in sales. Remember how we do it? So it's 12 divided by 100. So that's the £100 in sales times by 100. So that's 12%. Okay. So his ACOS of 12% means that he is spending £12 to make every £100 in sales. If he's made £100 in sales at £4 a book, he has only sold 25 books. With 10p profit for each book, he's only made £2.50. But he's spent £12 to get this, so he's actually lost money. Now let's have a look at Annabelle. So she's selling her book for £5, and each book makes £2 profit. That's £2 royalties. Her ACOS of 30% means that she's spent £30 to make £100 worth of sales. And £100 worth of sales for her represents 20 books, because remember they're each £5. So 100 divided by 5 is 20. 20 books making a profit of £2 each is £40. So she's actually only spent £30 and she's made £40 worth of royalties. So she's made a profit of £10. So even though she's got that higher ACOS, she is actually doing better than Dave. So how can you tell if you're making money? Dave needs to at least break even. In order to do that, he needs to sell 10 books for every pound that he spends on marketing. That means for his £12 spend, he needs to sell 120 books. So if he's selling 120 books at £4 each, his sales would show £480. If he's breaking even, that means his ACOS would be 12, which is his spend, divided by 480, which is his sales, times by 100. So that means his break even ACOS would be 2.5%. So he can have an ACOS of 2.5% or lower to make some money. So to work out your own break even ACOS, what you need to do is you take the profit that you make per book, you divide it by your selling price of the book, and you multiply that by 100. So let's work through this with Annabelle. We take her profit of £2 per book, we divide it by the sales cost of the book of £5, and then we multiply that by 100. So Annabelle's break-even ACOS, that's the ACOS that it needs to be that level or lower for her to make money, is going to be 40%. But unfortunately, there is a bit of a twist. You're going to get charged tax on your advertising spend. Yes, as if it's not complicated enough, they're going to add tax onto your fee. Annabelle is in the UK, so she's going to get charged 20% VAT on that £40 that she's spending on advertising. That means she's actually going to pay an extra 20% on top of that money, which will take her to £48 for every £100 worth of sales. In order to take this into account, you take the percentage that you've just got and you divide that by 100 plus the tax of your country and then multiply it by 100. Okay, now I'm sorry if this sounds complicated, but it will become clearer. So 100 plus the tax, which is 20% in the UK. So you take your percentage and you divide it by 120 and then you multiply it by 100. So for Annabelle, if we're taking into account the tax that she's going to spend on that advertising fee, you take your 40%, you divide it by 120. Remember, that's 100 plus the tax rate, and then you multiply it by 100. So her break-even ACOS, taking into account all the tax and everything else, if she gets an ACOS of 33.33% or lower, she will make money. Now, I realise that is a little bit on the complex side. I am sorry, but I have put you this formula here. Feel free to use it. So your whole ACOS calculator, what you need to do is take the profit amount of your book, you divide it by the selling price, and you multiply that by 100, divided by your tax plus 100, and then times it by 100. So I realise that is a little bit on the complicated side, and I do apologise, but unfortunately Amazon advertising is not simple. It is not going to tell you whether you're making money or not. You will just have to find that out for yourself if you don't use this ACOS calculator. I hope you found this useful. If you did, go and hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel for more useful content. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.